All right, guys, so I just caught up with Marty Hughes all the way here from somewhere around Nebraska. And Marty is the team captain and proprietor of the Top Team Challenge Cup victors from last year, the reigning title holders for that, the national championship, Team KayakJak Outfitters. Marty, what's your plan for today?
My plan is to catch 5 fish that put me in the hunt.
Okay.
You know, I think I can win it here.
You think you can win
I think I win it here.
Now, when you say win it, there's 3 tournaments going on. Challenge Series Championship, Trail Series Championship, Pro Series Championship. Which one are you winning?
Challenge Championship, Trail Championship.
So you're going to double up?
Double up?
All right.
You know what? My wife would be very happy about that.
I think so. You know. All right, man. All right, guys, we're going to get out on the water and follow Marty for a little while. Marty is the man, one of the OGs of kayak fishing. Don't get to spend that much time on the water with him, but today we're going to get that chance, and we're going to get out here and kind of watch one of the masters at work. All right, so we got Marty Hughes, Team KayakJak Outfitters on the water, and then of course, you know, there's no secret spots when it comes to tournament fishing, especially with this guy right here. This is fellow bona fide team member and
headlamp
extraordinaire guy. This is Jody Queen. If you guys have been following the show for any period of time, you've seen Jody repeatedly. Anytime there's a tournament going on where there's a leaderboard involved, you can expect his name to be in the mix. So Jody, what tournaments are you fishing and what's your plan here?
I'm fishing the Pro Series, the Trail Series, and the Challenge Championship.
Okay, so you got the shot at all 3.
Yes.
Where are you sitting at for Angler of the Year?
Not too
Are you in the hunt?
No.
You're sure?
Well,
because you know this is double.
If they had a really bad day,
it's double points here. So you could have a really good day, and a few other guys could have a bad day.
But they would have to have a really bad day.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, guys. One of the things that we changed about the format this year is the regular tournaments and the regional final count for regular points. You have to have 3 tournaments, you have to have a regional final, and then you have to have the Trail Series Championship count double points. Now, we've already made an adjustment for next year. Next year, you're going to have your regular tournaments. The regional final is going to count points and a half, and then the Trail Series Championship is going to count double points. But we're also going to adjust the increment. So for the double points tournaments, the point decrement will be double. And for our points and a half, there'll be point and a half decrement. So great suggestions. One of the great things about the kayak bass fishing community and working with guys like Jody is we're always getting great input to continuously evolve the process to get it the best possible format that we can. And the best way to do that is to involve the anglers in the decision-making process. We're proud of that at KBF. And anyway, I'm going to stop delaying Jody from launching because it's that time and he can get out there and start paddling to a spot. So good luck, brother.
Thanks,
Hope you
sir.
smash them, man.
All right, thank you.
All right. You tell me where you're going, I'll get out of your way. You're competing, I'm not. I'm just trying to clean up.
What did I do with that? I just blackened the head of my Nico because the water's kind of clear, and I want it as natural as possible when they see it. And you know, yesterday I only lost 2 of these all day. That's a pretty good day. And I got a 16-pound Sunline fluorocarbon leader on here with 20-pound braid, and I got a neon so I can see the line move because a lot of times I'm slack when I let it go. You know, we're gonna see what happens here in just a few minutes. We're gonna see if we get some tugs. No lines in the water yet. I got it. Now, magic juice. There are no secrets in fishing, right? Bingo. Okay, 14 1/4. First one of the day. Well, second fish caught. I'll take it. That's a good fish for today. There you go, buddy. Let's go get some more now. There's no more stripe on my head. It feels good to be on the board. That right there takes a lot of edge off right there when you get one. I'm gonna move ahead. Okay, come on, B15. Nah, darn it. These guys are stout. Okay, come on, stay on there. Stay on there. Stay on there. Tail down. Get your tail down. Get your tail down. Time for a little hero shot action. All right. There's another one. Number 2. 14. We'll take it. There you go, buddy. Okay, dry my hands off. We got a lot of trains coming by this morning out here too. That sun is gonna break here. Maybe the fishing is just gonna keep getting better too.
Had a couple bites early, short strikes, changed it up a little bit, started fishing a little slower. Got a decent little one. Keeper, nonetheless. So, get it on the board, get back out there. Take it. 14 and a half.
All right, so I stayed back and let these guys fish through for the tournament. I came and fished these little cuts in the grass, and there's a nice little chunker right there. There's probably 100 guys that would cut their arm off for this fish out there right now. But I played fair. I let everybody fish through, and I batted clean up. I got a little chunk. Fish on. There he is again. That's number 3. Look at that guy right there. Little chunker. Get him back in the water. Love me some fall fishing, baby. Again, one of the go-tos when I'm fishing fall fishing, that Z-Man Project Z chatterbait. I like that flathead for coming through grass and for banging it on rocks. That Yamamoto Seiko trailer, little chartreuse in the belly, a little pearlescent in the back. Thing is killer in clear water, muddy water, any water.
If you're on fish, you know, you're catching one after another, yeah, it's a good idea to wait. Josh Stewart's hammering it. He's got a 19.25. Wow. Well, I just moved up to 14th. Four guys have limits already.
All right, guys, it must be the train whistle blowing that's firing these fish up. A little Mississippi River chunk, baby. They are flat. Look at that. He has devoured that Z-Man Project Z chatterbait. They're choking it, man. A little chunky Mississippi River largemouth. Booyah. Bye-bye. That's good for you when your hands are cold. Got another train coming. Let's see if we can't get another one.
Get your fish on. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. I gotta get on photo. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Nice. Nice fish. Oh yeah. 15.25. Oh, this is good. This is good stuff here. Yeah. Look at that bowling ball. That's a nice fish for here. Oh, I feel good. 2 more for a limit. We're looking good here. This is surgical fishing in this vegetation. I thought I was gonna lose that one. I just had one right before that I lost. But you know what? We're in the first couple hours here. I believe still I'm doing good, doing good, doing good. So it's time to enter this.
Here we go. Number four. Number four. And number 5. So make that 5 anglers who would have had a 5 bass limit. But of course, I don't count.
There's peak feeding times, we know that. And that's when everybody's eating. The tables are all full. The buffet line, you gotta wait in line to get your food. But in fishing, there's those times too, but you know, I believe that there's always somebody in the drive-thru, waiting in the drive-thru. And that, so you go by a McDonald's or a Wendy's or something, and you see 2 or 3 cars that are parked at 10 a.m. That just tells you, you know, somebody's always hungry. Or there's always somebody hungry, I should say. So when there's, so you think about that. So that's why you just keep fishing, because there's always going to be somebody pulling that drive-thru. And you know, bass are opportunistic, so if you can just throw a piece of food in front of them, what looks like food, you might get a fish. You know, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm just waiting at the drive-thru, and got a lot of area here that no one's even touched today. And so it's dirty water over here, but I'm thinking there's got to be at least 1 or 2 over here that want to hit something. So that's my theory on feeding fish.
Here's an upgrade. Little chunk right yonder. And he flat choked it. All right, guys, so fish like that are obviously not fish that are going to win a championship caliber event like this. But as part of any good strategy, a lot of tournament anglers like to get their 5 fish, gives them confidence, makes them feel more comfortable taking chances the rest of the day. Now, 2 of the fish that I've caught were pretty good fish. That means there are some upgrade fish in here. So if I was fishing this tournament and I was to strategize about what to do, and realizing that I've got 6 fish and the sun's really not even up yet, and knowing that these pads in the shallower water is probably gonna get even better as soon as the sun peaks this little mountain right here, I would probably set my timer for about an hour on my watch for an alarm. I'd give myself an hour. All right, that's gonna take me until 8:45, 9 o'clock. That'll allow me to upgrade 1 or 2 small fish. Those critical inches could be the difference. And then what I would do is go hit some of my main river wing dams, rock piles, or some of the backwater rock piles that I'm really familiar with. And because I made a pretty good drive to get to the spot that I'm at now, I would actually head back closer to the tournament headquarters, closer to the dam, and fish for those fish that are moving towards those wintering holes. So again, tournament strategy, even though I'm not fishing the tournament, is I would probably try to get 2 or 3 more inches in upgrades. Then I'd be pulling my kayak out, heading back closer to the weigh-in, and swinging for the fences for those bigger fish. That don't mean catching a pile of these ain't fun. Like I was saying, there's number 7, and that fish is an upgrade for sure over the smallest fish that I have. So I'd be taking a cull right now, upgrading probably an inch, inch and a quarter. And again, in a tournament like this, all those inches could be critical.
Bingo. Can you believe that? I switched to a spinnerbait, and what happened? First cast. I went around and I kept seeing suspended fish. Oh man, not good. I keep doing this. I kept seeing suspended fish. I'm like, okay, nothing's on the edge yet. It's not warm enough, maybe. I don't know. And so I thought, you know what? Maybe a moving bait will get them going and some vibration in this dirty water. Sure enough, spinnerbait is not my confidence, but it caught me a fish. And now I'm gonna load him up here on Tourney X.
It looks like Mr. Sam Jones is still catching them, and I think what's happened is the smaller fish are out on the little channel edge around that grass, and to find the bigger fish, you pretty much have to get up into this flat and into these pads. And what I was doing to catch the bigger fish or the more quality fish that I caught was throwing that chatterbait and kind of running it through and using my rod tip to snake it through the gaps in the pads, or just running it into the pads and getting a reaction strike. So I think that's the ticket right now, is to get up into that warmer, shallower water, find that coontail coming right up to the top and pitch it past it, let it fall into those little holes. And you might only get 15 feet out of the retrieve, but and then standing up obviously gives you a lot of leverage to see down into the holes and to make longer casts and have leverage to get the fish up out of there. But yeah, that seems to be the difference between catching those smaller fish and those more quality fish. Those more quality fish seem to be up in the thicker vegetation. So they say one of the keys to fishing effectively, and by they I mean me, is confidence. And I am confident that a good cup of coffee when it's cold makes me fish better. And I pee outside, so I don't have to worry about drinking too much coffee, because just stand up and pee. And you know how much a relief zipper is worth in these Sidewinder bibs from NRS Fishing? Every penny. Because you would be pretty much have to get naked to go to the bathroom if you are not wearing bibbed waders. So I'm a big fan. Looks like Sam got another one. One of the things that happens quite a bit from anglers that aren't familiar with how catch, photo, release works is they ask us, how do you score the fish? And we score the fish by using inches, and so it's a length thing. And the tournament management system that we use to score the fish allows the anglers to upload the fish is a system called Tourney X. It was developed and is ran by a good friend of mine, Dwayne Wally, out of Mississippi. And he just recently released an updated version of the system called Tourney X Pro. And the app allows you, if you're fishing multiple tournaments like anglers are here, Challenge Series Championship, Trail Series Championship, and the Pro Series Championship, it allows you to take your fish, enter that fish, select the tournament you want to enter it into, and enter it to multiple tournaments simultaneously. And that's also one of the great things about catch, photo, release, is you can fish multiple tournaments at one time, because you may have a state challenge going on, and then you may have a KBF Trail tournament going on, and you can fish both at the same time. And so Tourney X is a platform that lets us do that. So if you guys are interested in catch, photo, release tournaments or running a tournament of your own, check out Tourney X, TOURNEYX.com. We'll put a link to it in the description box also.
There we go. Okay, now have I moved up or moved down? I'm sitting 19th of 76 anglers. It takes 76 to get in the top 10. Tyler Cole. Jody Queen is 12th. I am sitting 19th with 57.75. Man, another 14 will put me, it's going to take a lot to get in that top 10. James Francis sitting 9th. That's cool. Okay, well, maybe I can get a big one here.
Here's my upgrade fish right there. Look at that guy. When the sun gets up and I want to fish a chatterbait a little faster, I switch out my trailer from the Seiko from Yamamoto to the Razor Shad that's actually made by Z-Man. Now, Z-Man makes that as a bait that you can fish by itself, and it also makes a great trailer for the chatterbaits. And the reason that I do that is it's a little softer, it's a little longer, it increases the profile, it has less lift, and it allows me to fish the bait a little faster. When the sun gets up in this clearer water, it gives the fish an opportunity to get a little bit better look at it. So I like to move it a little faster. And so with that thinner profile and less plastic to create lift, and also a little bit longer profile, it allows me to fish those baits a little faster and target those active fish. Also, when I'm fishing up north where there's a lot of pike, it increases the profile of the bait, makes them hit more mid body, and I don't have to worry about them biting me off as much. Where with a more compact bait, they tend to overrun it, get into the leader, and cut me off. So just a little simple adjustment I like to make. And then if I'm fishing the bait really slow and bouncing it off the bottom or yo-yoing it, I'll also choose that razor shad over that Zako. So thing looks real sexy coming through the water. It's got a lot of action, and it just is a flat deadly addition to your arsenal. I also like to use that bait just naked on a jig head, skipping it, flipping it, ripping it through grass and things like that. Anywhere you'd fish like a lipless crank or anywhere you'd fish a tube style bait, it pulls double duty and does really well for both of those. So if you haven't fished it yet, check out that Z-Man Razor Shad. It's a deadly effective trailer, and it's a deadly effective bait all by itself. Well, Marty, how have you done so far, man? I checked the leaderboard and I only saw 4.
I got 4.
4. Well, I came clean up behind all of y'all, and I got like 9.
Yeah.
And probably would be around 82, 83 inches if they all measured.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty good.
but man, they're up in that flat, you know. Just I know you're saving them for later, but I was trying to stay out of the way. But look, I got to head back up to town, see if I can't connect with a few more anglers. You gonna ride it out here, or you gonna make another move?
I'm just gonna stay here and enjoy it.
Awesome.
You never know.
Well, get on them, brother. I hope you smash them. Get that 5th fish, which puts you in it tomorrow, and then wish you the best of luck. And more importantly, looking forward to seeing you and your team unveil your new member and come lay the smackdown as the top team challenge defending champions.
Absolutely.
This year on Gunnersville at the 2020 Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship. Doesn't have a nice ring to it. The 2020 Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship.
I like it. And you know what? I'm 60 years old, 20. Everything's divisible by 20.
Yeah, there you go. This is your year.
That's right.
You'll be our oldest champion if you can come in and smoke them.
I already am the oldest champion.
No, I mean your oldest national champion.
Yeah.
Oh, you already are?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the confidence. All right, guys, so we just made it over to meet up with Tim Miller. He is the district manager for the Upper Mississippi Wildlife Refuge, the federally protected area that is one of the primary migratory stops for migratory birds on their way south, and it's a really important feeding zone. So we're going to talk to Tim about why it's important to avoid the voluntary avoidance zones and why it's so critical to leave these birds alone and give them some space when it comes to this particular area of the Mississippi River. All right, guys, so this is Tim Miller. Tim is the district manager of the Upper Mississippi River Federal Wildlife Management and Fish Hatchery Refuge. Is that right? It's like a paragraph. We'll put the official title right here.
It's the
Go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
It's the Upper Mississippi River National Wildlife and Fish Refuge.
Okay, perfect. All right, so talk to us about these voluntary avoidance zones, right? Because if you're not from the area and you see voluntary, you say to yourself, okay, that means I still can go or I can't go. Explain that to the folks at home so we can help educate folks about what's going on with these zones.
Well, these areas, we have closed areas that are closed to migratory bird hunting, and then within some of those we have areas where we get large concentrations of waterfowl. And mainly what we're talking about is canvasback ducks and tundra swans. And we support about 2/3 of the continental population on pools 7, 8, and 9 during their migration, and they need a place to stop like we need a rest area when we take a trip in a car. They need a place to stop, rest up, get enough food to finish migration. And these areas like behind us here are shown on the map. They represent an area where there's a large food supply for waterfowl to be able to feed, recharge, and get on their way. We closed that area. We asked people to avoid it voluntarily for about a month, from mid-October to mid-November, or about close to when it freezes up. And during that time, it allows the birds to rest. Now we have the term voluntary, and we've been doing that since 1986 just because people want to still get around out there. And like with tournament anglers using kayaks typically don't cause a problem with them. But at times, if you go right through canvasback mats, they'll get up and they'll fly and then they'll leave the area, and that causes a lot of energy loss. So we just ask that people avoid those areas for about a month if they can, and it helps the ducks continue with migration.
Yeah, and as a waterfowl hunter myself, who primarily hunts the other end of the Mississippi River, it's important that folks like y'all are, what y'all are doing up here is to keep those birds healthy to make it down. And like you said, there's a lot of energy stores they have to build up to make those long flights. And then as development has happened pretty much up and down the Mississippi River Valley and the Mississippi River corridor and on up to the beginning, this is one of those critical staging areas where they stop and they feed up and they get ready to make that next major leap. And there's not another one really easy from here on down, which means those ducks are going to have to veer off course. They're going to have to try to stay longer than they should have to build up those reserves. And they burn a lot of energy off when you paddle in there and you spook them, even if they just have to make a big lap and come back around in an hour, right? Because they're trying, the law of conservation of energy kicks in. You've got to get more calories than you burn. So if a bunch of people are constantly going through there and keeping those ducks in the air, they're not feeding while they're flying, and they're burning energy. So it creates a big time imbalance. And for a guy like me, a canvasback is the holy grail of ducks, And for years they were closed completely to harvest, and now they've gotten to where the harvest is a little more generous. But it's one of those ducks you just don't see, hundreds of like you do greenhead mallards and a lot of the other more common ducks, especially down south. And so, to me, I applaud the efforts of the Wisconsin DNR and the federal side that Tim represents in trying to do everything that they can to protect these species so that they're there for both the future of the species and for outdoor recreation. Because honestly, this is what you guys don't think about. Without outdoor recreation, right? Without outdoor recreation to fund things like Ducks Unlimited, Coastal Conservation Association, a lot of the funding gets redirected to agencies like Tim works for and other government agencies. Then these zones that we can fish in the other 10 months out of the year are not there, right? And so keep those things in mind. Don't be selfish. Do the best you can to avoid these areas. And if you're a guy like a kayak angler like me, a lot of times we see those signs that says, oh, voluntary. That means everybody else is going to avoid it, but I can slip in there and catch a fish. Or you see a sign that says no motor. No motor is what most of us live for. We get into those areas where nobody else can get. Even when we got a little electric motor, we'll just shut it off and we slide in there. So again, guys, I understand I'm a kayak angler, and when you see those places, they almost seem like Atlantis. You really want to go in there. But I'm asking you on behalf of Tim and folks like him who work very hard to protect this resource for us, just avoid them. Just avoid those areas altogether and help us protect a healthy balance in fishing and wildlife, and we'll all be much happier. All right, guys, before we move to the next spot, we're going to take a second to check out the Tourney X leaderboard. Still sitting in first place with 92 3/4 inches is Josh Stewart. Russ Snyder's in second place with 91 1/4 inches. Both of those guys are from the state of Tennessee. Tyler Cole from Iowa got 89 inches in third. Jamie Dennison, the 2017 KBF Angler of the Year, is sitting in fourth place with 85 inches. And Patterson Lee from right here in Wisconsin rounds out the top 5 with 83 1/4 inches. They're catching them, boys. They're catching them.
I'm at the very north end. You have to drive through some water, but it's only like 4 or 5 inches.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I'll find you.
All right.
Later. Bye. So we made the move, and we found ourselves back into the backwaters to find Joseph Daddeo. Joseph is the 2018 KBF Rookie of the Year and KBF 10 competitor. And so he's in a pretty unique fraternity. He has earned the Rookie of the Year title, and he has made it into the 10. So far, he's the only angler to have ever made it into the 10 as a rookie. So that's pretty cool. And he's right out here, and it looks like he is smashing some fish. So we're going to get our stuff unloaded. We're going to head out. We're not going to interfere with his fishing, but we're just going to see how his day is going.
Good one?
Yeah. I just got this one
When I first set the hook, I thought it was going to help me out. They're heavy right now, but I can tell by looking at it, it's not going to measure up. I've caught so many fish today that I can just tell by looking at them now. Hopefully I get one a little bit bigger. So what I'm doing is I found this backwater area in pool 7 where there's still living lily pads, which is kind of unusual. And I found these bass kind of stacked up in between the lily pad patches. But MLF just had a championship here a few months ago. And I spent a whole night, but I was able to figure out by landmarks where Edwin Evers won the tournament. And it turns out there's a launch right there. Nice bass. All right, so I've been catching them on a white chatterbait. Just been slow rolling it as slow as I can through these lily pads. And it seems like every time I stop the bait is when I get bit. And I learned that by mistake. Because of the wind, I had to keep repositioning myself, and I'd have to put the pole down even though the bait was out there, and I'd have to get the paddle and readjust. And then when I went to pick up the pole again, there'd be a fish on the end. So now I'm trying to do it as slow as I can and stopping it a lot. And it seems to work. I just wish I could get a few bigger ones, but there's a ton of fish in here. So last year was my first year ever tournament fishing. I've always liked fishing, but I just found out that there was organized kayak tournaments in December of 2017, and when I found that out, I was just psyched. I couldn't wait. I signed up for the very next one that they were having, which happened to be the 10-Vitational at Bienville Bassin, and that was January 2018. So that's when I first started. And then last year they had a trail event here. Actually, no, it was an open. It was a 2-day event. I came up with someone that I met at the 10-Vitational, and we camped out, and we fished pool 8 last year. I think I got 17th out of maybe 70.
All right, guys, so that's going to do it for day 1 of the Kayak Bass Fishing Trail Series Championship, Challenge Series Championship, and Pro Series Championship here from La Crosse, Wisconsin. What we're going to do now is we're going to head back to the Omni Center in Onalaska, and we're going to find out who the leaders are, for one, and 2, we're going to award some prizes from folks that won the Pro Series events throughout the year, and we're going to recognize the top anglers in the Challenge Series from each state, what we like to refer to as the Night of Champions. Here we go! Here we go! Oh, but first, I got to drop through a little water.